here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live?
From Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at 74 in Gonzales. Welcome to the Wednesday edition Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott. Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Randy McKay with us on Wednesdays. Scott Rabal with us on Wednesdays. Wes Reynolds with us on Wednesdays. We'll have a lot of picks. We'll see what Rab has to say about LSU football. So all of that. We got a ton of day baseball. Jimmy may have an opinion on. We'll do that.
Bounce back night after I gave the people two losers on Monday Night Football. You know, the Texans and the Raiders, but did have the Phillies to salvage. Not to go over on Monday, but bounce back 3-2, but three plus money jobs. So yeah.
Phillies late last night.
How about that? They're begging the Padres to come get them.
Six in the sixth after Ohtani had no hit them for 5 innings, and then 3 more in the ninth after the Dodgers had come back to tie it.
Phillies, some good stuff. What some crazy comebacks last night. So Texas, Houston's beating Texas like 7-1. It finishes 7-6. White Sox were losing like 8-2, 8-7 final. Rays were losing like 6-1. It was like a 7-6 final. I mean, it was all these comebacks that fell just a little bit short. And then the big one, like you talked about, the Phillies coming back in blowing by. The Dodgers, I mean, they're healthy again. They're under 500 for like the last 40 games, Charlie. This is an extended stretch where the most talented team, the richest payroll in baseball, is. It's not just they're just throwing out these openers left and right now. They got their guys back.
Yeah, you worry about that bullpen.
No, the bullpen. Well, see, in the postseason, this is where I like the Dodgers. The postseason, the bullpen, some of these starters are going to be shifted, and they're going to help that bullpen out a lot.
Yeah.
Much needed.
Wednesday is the day for the SEC teleconference. This is when all the coaches take questions for about 10 minutes or so. And Brian Kelly is always the first one up. So we monitor this to see if there's ever any news breaking, injuries or things like that. And what he said today was not news, but just a reaffirmation of what he said on Monday. He was asked specifically if he would ever consider setting Nussmeier this Saturday. And Kelly's response was he needs to play, and he wants to play. The torso injury has slowed him up, so we've dialed back practice. But now he's on the other side of it because we were able to do that. He's doing some things in practice now that he hasn't been able to do in a month. So any thought that he would maybe reconsider or walk back what he said on Monday is squashed right there. It's encouraging to me that he says he's doing some things in practice that he hasn't been able to do in a month. Jimmy, this is a very nonspecific injury, or at least nonspecific the way he's describing it to us. We got a pretty good idea on timetable with, knee injuries and things like that, concussion protocol, but this is a torso, which could mean a lot of different things. This oblique that keeps you from spinning, and what is his level of pain?
Charlie, it's and all that is true, and I'm a knee specialist, so that's it. Trust
from
me,
experience.
I've done enough of that. But any injury will interrupt and affect your mechanics, and that's what we're seeing, right?
Right.
Are we not seeing that with Arch Manning too?
I think so. Although they have, that's what it looks like.
I can't believe that. I mean, we've seen it. I saw. It's different. He's certainly going to be affected by pressure at the college and at Newman. All right, but I didn't see those ugly mechanics when he went against Mississippi State. Last year.
No, he was fine in those the 2 games that he started.
Have we seen these kind of? We see a little bit of the arm slot shift by Nussmeier. Is that fair? And Arch Manning, it seems like this generation of quarterbacks has watched too much of Patrick Mahomes. So it's a part of a lot of guys. But I'm talking about
Off
the spots.
platform.
No, the spots when you drop back, you're in the pocket and you're not affected. To try and where you're forced to kind of shift that arm slot to kind of get it below a pass rusher and stuff like that. We've seen a little bit of it, and these guys, one guy gets a little bit more exposure and hype than others. Both of them have similar paths as they've been throwing footballs for a long time and taught properly.
With a ton of eyes on them, a ton of experienced, knowledgeable eyes on them.
Nussmeier's dad, but also probably some private instructors like Rohan and whoever, along the way. Same thing with, Manning. Okay, so these guys were taught the proper mechanics, how to throw a football, and we're seeing, and that's the thing where I say this is probably affecting that a little bit.
So what we saw in the film study last night, you can go check it out at the Handycast film study with Richard and I, is the balls that he's throwing that are up to between 25 and 30 yards have got enough zip on them. Now,
talking from his hand or release, or from the line of scrimmage?
From his hand release to the catches. The two longest ones were the one to Bauer Sharp, which spent 26 yards in the air. There was another one to Aaron Anderson that was about that same thing. And then the Xavier Thomas touchdown was a little bit less than that. That ball wobbled on him, but it had enough mustard on it to get there. Anything under 30 yards, he looks fine, okay? I really didn't see him throw the ball deeper than that. Now, did they call it? Were there opportunities? There was one that we saw where Barry Brown is at about the 25-yard line, their own 25-yard line, and he is even with the defender. And Nussmeier could have gone to him. It would have been a longer throw. If he would have led him, the throw would have probably carried up to midfield. So with the drop back and everything, it would have been closer to 40 yards or 35 yards. Might have been a little bit inside the 25-yard line. He took what was the 26-yard throw to Sharp, and the play goes for 65 yards. So no problem there. He probably makes the better decision. If he throws to Brown there, it's probably a 50-50 ball. But he took the open receiver. He took the 65-yard gain, go to town. We saw him try to throw the ball deep against Louisiana Tech. That was short. That'll be 2 weeks from, the Southeastern game. So it's not like he is not capable of putting enough mustard on the fastball to throw anything inside of 30 yards, which is most of their passing game anyway. Does that mean he can't throw the ball deep? Who can say?
I'm more interested in what you guys saw watching the All-22 film on the coverages dictating, that just basically eliminating LSU's, desire to try and throw into coverage downfield.
They did not. They played some too high, not as much as Clemson did. There were some man opportunities for them. Some of them they took, but it was all.
You're afraid of his arm then, or you're concerned about his arm, because you got guys.
Yeah.
You got guys that you got to take. I mean that's one of your big star. I mean, your big weapons. I mean, is Hilton over the top? I mean, if they're showing,
I think he played 11 snaps the other night, because if it's not in the deep game, that's the biggest asset he is out there. So if you're not going to throw the ball deep, frankly, there's other receivers they've got out there that block a little bit better.
You're not throwing the ball deep.
Yeah.
You're not.
So that part is,
that's injury.
They haven't run it. Put it that way. They ran it once in the Louisiana Tech game. They didn't run it again.
And how did it look with his affected arm?
It was short. It was well short, way short. So it was the throw that got everybody talking. Like, man, is something up.
Right. So if he can't step into that throw to throw it vertically,
right.
And I'm talking about for line of scrimmage. We're talking about 40 yards plus downfield. That we saw beautiful throws against Baylor in the bowl game.
Yeah, probably not
beautiful throws. I mean, they don't want to show how ugly it is.
Not they
like it saw against Louisiana Tech. They don't want to make that a pattern.
Yeah. So at what point is he going to be able to make that throw again and they get comfortable in the offense? Is it this week? Is it Ole Miss? Is it after the bye? I don't know. They can run most of the offense with what he can do, and they're not going to tell anybody when he's going to be unleashed to be able to throw the ball deep. So we'll see. This is not a secret anymore. This is something that other coaches are picking up on film. This is something that anybody watching the game can see. The other thing that came out of the teleconference was from Billy Napier, and yesterday, Jabbar Jalouk, who we know from his time as a high school coach here and his short time at LSU, was suspended for 3 games for the pregame, what are we going to call it, altercation.
And those things between Florida and LSU are getting tired. I mean, it's
I told you on Saturday or Sunday when we did football Sunday, this one was worse. And yeah, you're right, it is getting tired because every time these two get together, somebody's on somebody's side of the field in pregame or whatever, and this was more involved. This was not them at midfield or stomping on a logo or somebody ran onto the other side of the field and got in somebody's way. This was Florida going all the way down to the student section, okay, all the way down on the north end of the field. And there is video. You got to look real close, but you can if you look at what they were doing a cut in on TV at the very, very beginning of that. He appears to lunge or whatever you want to call it at somebody. Jalouk apologized. He sounded like somebody he knew or somebody that knew him, and he apologized. He took full responsibility for it. Napier, says, "Hey, look, that ain't what we expect." The league made a statement. The university athletic director made a statement. The head coach made a statement, and the assistant coach made a statement. That's a lot of statements, man. I mean, in other words, they know he was in the wrong. I mean, there's nobody disputing that Jabbar Jalouk was in the wrong in this situation. He gets a 3-game suspension, man. Jimmy, that's what Harbaugh got for putting Michigan in the damn national championship game and sending Inspector Clouseau over to Central Michigan or wherever they were.
Sherrone Moore got 2 from it.
Yeah, and he got 3, but he was able to split them over.
I thought it was 2.
It was 2 this year and 1 next
year.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so it is 3, but he got it split out. This is you remember an assistant getting a 3-game suspension for something like this? I mean, I'm trying to think.
What were we talking about a couple weeks ago where you said the league usually doesn't step in?
They usually don't.
What was that?
That was the officiating.
Officiating.
The Barry and Brown call in the Clemson game, were they going to publicly reprimand the?
That's.
Were they going to publicly reprimand the officials?
I thought it was something different. But anyway, no, whatever. This is completely different. But the league stepped in on this one.
And it never was completely clear whether the league told them they had to do it and Florida did it or the league did it or whatever. He's out for 3 games.
I thought it wasn't a spitting thing?
Oh, it was a spitting thing. I said it.
It's not officiating.
I said it about the officiating too. The league doesn't publicly
but that's
reprimand.
Different. No, they got to protect. They got to defend their officials.
You're right. It's a spitting. Yeah. No, they usually do not. The league would rather not step in. They would rather the schools discipline their own.
When it's student athletes, they don't step in, and they'll leave it up to the schools. But when it's the paid professionals, well, I guess the players are too now. But I mean, the adults they're held to a higher standard, obviously. And Sankey's got to do this kind of stuff, man. He had that thing on autopilot. He stepped his game up during COVID, and he has been pretty damn good and respectful ever since. And you have to do this. I mean, his quote where to justify his ruling on this was, "Man, you got to be a leader." Yeah. I mean, you're in a position of leadership, you're supposed to diffuse these type of situations, not incite them.
SEC and Florida jointly announced this yesterday, just so I get this right. Jalouk's conduct during the pregame altercation reflects behavior that is unacceptable and not aligned with the standards of the Southeastern Conference. This sounds like it came down from above. Anyway, they're all in agreement. Nobody's appealing anything. Nobody's denying anything. Yep, he did it. He's being punished. 3 big games, too. I mean, Miami, Texas, and Texas A&M. It's not like he's missing those rental wins like like Harbaugh did. At any rate, we're here at Snows.
I mean, if you want to, Penn State should have open season, huh? They should do all kinds of things with their first 3 games, huh?
It's a heck of a preseason. They're running an NFL preseason. They had 3 preseason games, then a week off. That's what the NFL teams do, right?
I did laugh when you said that on post game. You went through all the scores, and there were a lot because they just keep adding these Division I teams.
Yeah,
I mean, we got who do we have? Delaware now.
Yeah.
You got to run through scores.
Yeah.
I mean, so Old Dominion. Who's next? And you say. Well, Penn State's done with their preseason, and I cannot believe that's the biggest thing when you look at the schedule. We talk about even the 2019 team, as great as they were. They had a big game, emotional game. They had an exhale spot, whether it was a bye, a rent-a-win, or Ole Miss or Mississippi State that weren't good that year. They had losing seasons. I mean, Auburn game, Florida game, Alabama game, whatever you had. And here it is. There's no doubt after that brutal non-conference schedule, they need an exhale.
Sure.
They got a bye before Oregon.
All the NFL teams do that after the 3rd preseason game. They're off to next Sunday, and then they play into the regular season.
Little game, James.
He got a big one coming up a week from Saturday. We'll see where he's at.
We're live here at Snows Seafood and Steak. You've heard me talk about a lot of 50 years, and we're on the second half of this century. Over here at Snows Seafood and Steak, multi-generation operation from the Sheets family. Todd and Candy taking the baton and just, and raising the game, man. We're in one of the banquet rooms today. They've got the patio. Maybe when we come back in October, it'll be patio weather. So we hope for that. So you're going to get exactly what you know what you're going to get. The service is always friendly. We do restaurants every day. The people, when I come in, you need something, water, can I help you? They're just really, really nice. And that comes from top. And it's come to be known that you expect that type of friendly, warm service when you come over here to Snow Seafood and Steak. You can sit in the bar, watch the TVs if you want, multiple dining rooms, banquet rooms. Hey, it's really not too early because this place fills up. You got a company around this area of town, you want to try and book one of these private banquet rooms because they will be packed for the holiday season. Never too early to make space for that. And we got lunch specials. We got lunch specials and salad specials Tuesday through Friday over here at Snows. We're closed on Mondays because we do such a big business on Sunday. But just a little bit of, you want fried seafood, you want a steak, you want some pasta, you want some fresh fish, you want ideal protein menu, something light, whatever it is. And yes, that white chocolate bread pudding is to die for. Specialty cocktails all the time, great one. Wines by the glass, really good wines by the glass. We're talking about Silver Oak, Prisoner, Camus. I mean, just really good stuff by the glass as well. Snow Seafood and Steak, there's something on the menu to excite anybody's palate out there.
Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. Louisiana Sports.
Let us know if we hit 27 after, please. Okay, thanks.
Reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get this show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Brand new Handycast, brand new film study on the Florida game. Go to YouTube, search Handycast. Hit a subscribe, hit a like. Richard and I went through a good bit of the film last night, about a baker's dozen's worth of plays to take a look at from last night. Last night's film study as LSU beat Florida.
Yeah, give us a little nugget.
Well, you know, there were good plays and bad plays in the run game where you can see the designs are fine. I'll give you an example from the first couple of plays of the game. The first play of the game, Caden Durham. This is a play that is designed to go off the right tackle. He cuts it back and he makes 6 yards. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Okay, this is garden variety. First play of the game that any college in the country can run. And LSU makes 6 yards out of it. The center gets his block. The right guard gets his block. The left tackle gets enough of it. He cuts back. He makes 6 yards. 3 plays later, the next drive, LSU's looking at 3rd and 1, again, inside their own 30-yard line. And they're trying to run right there in that similar spot on the right side of the line. And the right tackle misses his block. The tight end misses his block. The right tackle missed his block so badly he got turned around. And he's actually looking Durham in the face before Durham has taken 2 steps. And there's 3 defenders. The right tackle and the tight end essentially block nobody. And the right guard is trying to get up to his guy, which he did. But by this time, you got the 2 guys that the right tackle and the tight end didn't block, plus the corner that sees the handoff. They come down, and they end up on a 3rd down and 1 tackling him for a 2 or 3 yard loss. It's essentially the same damn play. I mean, it's the same assignments. It's not the exact same formation, but it's got a lot of the same stuff to it. And on the first play, everybody makes their block. On the other play, Nobody makes their block. I mean, I know that's simplistic,
Okay.
but it's not like these designs are faulty. If the right tackle blocks the guy he blocked on the first play, Durham would have probably made the 1 yard.
Okay, so, people at the game like, man, what is the deal with our offense? What's the deal with our offense? 10 first downs. I mean, it's just, come on.
Yeah.
One touchdown scored. What's going on? And, Kelly kind of talked about, we know about the Nussmeier and the injury and maybe compromising him a little bit there. All right, but the offensive line, what was Dixon's, or as a unit, what was his overall grade, do you think? No, I mean, not as bad. Just kind of.
For the run blocking, it was probably a C. C minus. There were a lot of plays like the one that we showed last night in the run game. The pass blocking is fine. The pass blocking.
Okay.
Generally, he's got enough time to get where he needs to be in his progression. So it's not perfect, but they've had enough there, and they've had open receivers. I think that they've done a decent job of getting into the middle of the field. Xavier Thomas's ball was in the middle of the field. The long catch and run by Aaron Anderson was in the middle of the field. The long catch and run by Bauer Sharp was in the middle of the field. So he is not afraid to throw the ball in between the hashes. There's been some success with that. It's been tougher to go to the outside. It's a longer throw. I mean, it's the same thing we've been talking about. These throws outside the number. But now in a shorter,
so better in pass protection than run blocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have been.
Isn't that everybody? We talked about this yesterday.
A lot of teams,
with everybody. I mean, I think you two best. Is Aller under center? Is Notre Dame get under center?
I have not watched one play of Penn State. Because of who they played. I mean, a highlight here and there. You watched their first game. You'd know better than me. I have not watched Penn State at all because they've been playing preseason games. So I don't know. Generally, I said this yesterday, the best running teams have had the quarterback component to it. So I don't know. Tell you what, though, they dialed up some cool stuff on defense that we showed in there that really
give me credit there.
Really
I
got
thought your boy was going to he's going to be a kid in a candy store this year.
They got to Lagway pretty good. They showed him some stuff and really got him off.
It was an extended version of 2003 against Shockley. I mean,
yeah.
It brought all kinds of when you trust your coverage, you can have a lot of fun. I didn't realize they brought extra rushers 2/3 of the snaps against Clemson.
Yeah.
If you could do it against a guy that has that many snaps, who's going to have as many snaps as Klubnik that you play this year?
Gosh.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I was about to say probably nobody. Mateer hasn't been starting that long. Probably nobody. Taylor Green. Maybe.
Oh, that's right. The Boise State.
They busted one coverage, and they got the penalty, bailed them out. That was it. Everything else was pretty salty on that defensive side.
It's one thing to say, he can do it. He's going to have a lot of fun, but to do it also, and he's going to get a lot of run this year because of it. And it's at defense coordinator, 90% personnel, baby. It is, and he's taking advantage of it.
They know where seven's at. I can promise you that.
They're
gonna find seven because seven wreck your whole game plan. Now 7 also busted the one coverage that they bust, but look.
Oh, really? On the 87-yard pass?
Yeah,
oh,
it was on him.
Okay. Okay.
We think we're pretty sure it was on him. He let the guy. It looked like man coverage. He let the guy go. Thought he had help over the top.
United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team of bankers, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, and David Henry. You could stop on by one of our branches, discuss how we can help your business today with one of these great team of bankers. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Snow's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This season, luxury takes the field. Genesis delivers a driving experience that's always in formation. Elegant, powerful, and ready to score. With bold design that breaks the huddle and interiors that feel like a private suite, every ride is a winning drive. Advanced tech calls the plays while performance responds like a pro in the pocket. No blitz, no noise, just smooth execution. Genesis, where refinement meets game day confidence. Visit Genesis of Baton Rouge on Airline at Pico or online at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Get Moss, Max, and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat. Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
College football talk all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show. Weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Big dog, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Trying to find some winners here in week 3 and, getting things going here, hopefully, and, a little bit of a shaky start, but let's get it rolling.
Hey, what did we learn about from week 1 to week 2? Because some teams did respond, like the Lions, I got it, but what I saw with the Packers did to the Commanders' offense on Thursday night gave me a little confidence that they were going to bounce back offensively as well. Boy, same old with the Bears. Maybe I mean that thing is ugly, but they played a couple of tough teams. And McCarthy, was it hurt or is just it's just inconsistencies from a rookie? He played a shaky 3/4. Just some takeaways from week 1 to week 2 that might help us shape our handicapping.
Yeah, the main takeaways here is these injuries. We got a lot of injuries coming up here with these quarterbacks, and a lot of injuries to offensive lines that are affecting some of these teams too. We've seen it with the Vikings, seen it with the Texans. Of course, their offensive line we knew was shaky coming into the year. That hasn't gotten any better. We've seen, Cincinnati, their shaky offensive line might have led a little bit to Burrow's injury. So, just be careful back in some of these offensive lines when they have these bad injuries.
We were discussing the Burrow injury, obviously, yesterday, and how much of it is attributed to the lack of protection?
Yeah, definitely. They lost, even a guy or two during the year here, and we had them ranked pretty low on offensive line. So, he had to run around a lot, and then he got clipped. But they have Browning's pretty capable backup, probably one of the best. So, I don't think they're in terrible hands with Browning in there.
4-3 is a starter, I think.
4-3 is a starter.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Did he take the majority of snaps on Sunday? When did
it was in the first half for sure.
Was it the first half?
Yeah.
My point is, not if it's a starter not, but if he's taking the majority of snaps, I'm wondering what his record is. Where would you put him, Randy, as far as ranking of backups?
Yeah, I would put him right there as one of the top ones. Put him with either Jimmy Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett. Them are all pretty good ones. We'll see how good Carson Wentz is this week, of course. We got that one. So we'll see. But even Tyrod Taylor, he just got announced as a starter now for the Jets. He's been a good backup as well. So
he's
been decent backups up there.
Yeah,
don't change a line as bad as the react.
I think Tyrod's pretty damn good. It's so Browning through 32 attempts, 13. So he should get credit for that win. 32 attempts to 13 for Burrow. So he played the majority of the snaps, obviously. Tyrod was a fade against guy as a starter, but man, I love it. Remember that Giants Buffalo game last year? I mean, he moved the Giants offense better than Daniel Jones did last year. And are we sold on Jones? Where would you rank him? As the starters. They look pretty good so far. And Taylor is, boy, he looks like he's a rookie or something, man. He looks outstanding, with his burst.
Yeah, definitely. Resurrection here for Daniel Jones going to. You got to credit Steichen's a pretty good offensive coach here. So, the Colts look like they're a pretty good team. Hung in there and somehow got the win there versus Denver there. That penalty at the end there, outrageous penalty that I can't believe it was even made. But pretty good 2-0 start with them, and Jones looks like he's settled in pretty good with Steichen's offense.
I think, and Peyton kind of took didn't question the call, took it, said we shouldn't have tried. We've used that play before, or that field goal rush before, but we shouldn't have at 60 yards. How about the Colts and the Cowboys kind of playing for these 60, 64-yard field goal attempts?
Yeah, I didn't understand the Colts kind of settling in that spot where we know that Cowboys kicker, he can bang them through from, and probably make a 70-yarder in his career here eventually. But, kind of saved me in Survivor. I was hanging on by the skin of my teeth in that game, so I was glad to get that one in the Grandissimo. So
you had company.
There we go.
Yeah, you and Max. So Max, we're sharing a threesome here, but the Max he was on it too. We were ready to haze him pretty good if he was the first one out this year. So, but that. How much is it they're allowing to use their kind of worn-in ball? They can handpick their ball, which is it gives more, it stays in a foot longer, and those kickers love those balls that they can handpick themselves. They're kind of worn in.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's helping them, and we're seeing some long field goals go in. Well, seeing some pretty crappy kicking too. Like I don't know if you guys are watching the New England-Miami game. The guy missed the first 2 extra points. We're seeing some of that stuff too. So we're seeing both ends of the spectrum.
We watched Cleveland basically blow a game in week 1 because of some easy kicks that Schmidt.
Yeah. So the Syracuse kicker, who was excellent in college, really good. All right, Big Dog, give us your favorite plays this week. You got 3 of them for us?
I got 3 sides, a total, and a teaser.
Oh, come on.
First side, I'm going to go against the grain here. You know, people are loving this Indianapolis team. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans here, getting 4 here. I think this line is too high in the division matchup, even though I'm a little scared of this coach for Tennessee. I've mentioned he's not a very good coach, but their defensive line, I think they can hang in there. You know, this will be another close game. We'll see how it ends up, but I see the Tennessee Titans +4 with some value.
All right, this is where Charlie, chastises me, but he will never dare do it to you, Randy. So he has selective enforcement as far as his criticism.
I wish there was something in the world I loved as much as you guys love the Tennessee Titans, man. Y'all need to buy houses in Nashville. Y'all love this team.
All right, but again, the people are in love. People ready to sell on the Titans. People ready to. To buy in on the Colts. Where would that line be if the Colts, they don't call that penalty? And I thought it was a penalty, an infraction that you had to be looking for to kind of call it, because you just watch it. No, oh my gosh, that's a big. I just hated that call in that spot. But where do you think it would be had Denver held on to win and the Colts come in 1-1?
Yeah, this line was 1.5 from the look ahead, so you're getting 3.5 points here of value just because of one kick, I believe. And, Tennessee didn't have a horrible performance. They were right in the game against the Rams there till kind of the end when they died out. But, and they play Indianapolis tough at home, so this is another good spot for them.
79% of the bets made on this game on the spread at 4.5 at our friends at the Queen, the DraftKings outlet, is on the Indianapolis Colts. Who's your next pick, Randy?
The big matchup here. I'm going to take the Eagles if you get it down to 3 -20 like I got. You might want to even wait. There's a lot of Rams love here. The look ahead in this game was -4. It's been bet down to that number. This is the big matchup. I trust the Philly offensive line more than I trust this Rams offensive line. Otherwise, usually in the spot I would like the underdog, but with Philly's, proven offensive line against this Rams that, Stafford could always take that one hit in the game, and then we've got Garoppolo in there. So I like Philly a little bit in this matchup, and I think they'll go 3-0.
All right, so buy it down. You've seen it.
You see the Rams record, last 11 games, 0-2 against the Eagles, 9-0 against everybody else.
Wow.
And playing. Man, Stafford's made some really nice
throws.
Stafford
is really extending his career to a high level.
And for somebody who's got this back, whatever he's got, he playing as good as anybody.
That seems like he's gotten some good assistance there, because he wouldn't be playing like he did if he had some back issues. Yeah. That stuff is debilitating.
He's like a fine wine. He's gotten better with age. I remember back when he was with Detroit, his nickname used to be Pat Stafford. Mm-hmm. He always pat a Stafford.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, get a lot of garbage yards when the game was done at that point. All right, who's your next side?
Going against the Dallas team that even advanced me, and glad to be done with that team. I like the Chicago Bears here, getting +1. The Bears were a 1.5 point favorite on the look ahead last week, so see a little value here, getting an underdog here. Dallas, I like to bet against teams coming off an overtime win. Crazy game. Want to relive it. Probably couldn't live through it if I had to. But we'll see. But I see this a good bounce back spot here for Chicago. We'll see if Ben Johnson's a good head coach, if his team responds, and we'll see if Williams can get get right versus this weak, very weak Dallas defense that blew 2 4-point leads in the fourth quarter, letting the receiver behind them, which I couldn't believe.
It's minus a little juice now, minus 118, but plus 1.5 now at the Queen, a DraftKings outlet here. All right, and who you got? You said a total and a teaser. Is that right?
Yep, under 42 in the Cincinnati-Minnesota game here. Battle of the backup quarterbacks. Both offensive lines are injured up. There's going to be a lot of travel on the interstate from Bismarck, North Dakota on 94 to Minneapolis. You know, Carson Wentz, North Dakota's finest quarterback, starting here. So, and the Vikings should get back Van Ginkel on defense. You know, they got beat up a little bit against the run against Atlanta, but they held in there, you know, held in the field goals. It didn't break till the end, and, you know, just had too much, you know, pressure from the offense here. And we'll see if the Vikings offense can respond, but I think it's going to take a while. This game could be lower scoring than most think.
Charlie, you think that Zach Taylor, because they were behind most of the time, they let Browning throw the ball that much, or are we trying to dial that down over the course of the game?
Well,
that might lend itself to the under.
He was pretty defensive about the criticism of his offensive line, which is what you would think.
Oh, because Burrow got hurt?
Because Burrow got hurt. He says, this is on everybody, you know. This is not just on the offensive line.
Okay.
Not sure I'll buy that.
No.
A lot of that pressure has come right up the middle. But, yeah, I would think that it was probably because they were behind. Chase Brown's actually proven to be a fairly reliable back over. But midway last year, he took over the full-time. But he's been more of a workhorse than I thought he would be. I thought he'd kind of be a third down back when he came in the league. He's emerged as an every down back for them.
He is their every down back, but he ain't no Bijan Robinson. We know
no,
that.
he's not that good.
And that's the guy who kind of torched on Sunday night. So it'll be interesting to see the approach that O'Connell takes with Carson Wentz, how much confidence he has in him. To dip it down to 41.5, this line probably go down with both of these backups. That would probably lend some public support to the under as well, huh, Randy? So 42 might, if we can find that, might want to get on it now, huh?
Yeah, I would probably get on it now because I'll probably get on the 41, which is key number.
All right, in a teaser, in any of the major mobile outlets that you look at to for your teasers now, because DraftKings just went from minus 115 to minus 135 on their juice from last year to this year, and they were the best. So I think of Westgate, the brick and mortar place, very popular place in Las Vegas. They're minus 140 on 6-point teasers. Long gone are the days at minus 110. I think that Colucci and them have 120. But the mobile sites, what is the best site to put down teasers right now?
Yeah, not totally sure. I remember Bet Rivers was 120 as well back in the day. I don't know if they still are or not.
Okay.
Most of mine is, of course, offshore and PPH, but the teaser I like here is Seattle down to 1.5. You know, your Saints have been pretty tough the first 2 weeks. You know, showing some growth, but their offensive line, of course, banged up there. You know, are we going to maybe get a bad Rattler game coming up here too? We'll see on the road. Like Seattle, they're down to 1.5, and the NFC West matchup here with Arizona and San Fran, like Arizona up to 7.5. So you're getting through the key numbers there and getting them down and getting one up. So like that teaser.
All right, the Seattle minus 1.5, and what's the other half?
Arizona up to 7.5.
Arizona plus 7.5 against.
Real
quick, we out of time, no, Randy, but about Rattler. What do you think about where do you have him as a 32 starting quarterbacks right now? He certainly played better than we expected last week.
Well, he is a starter, but I would rank quite a few backups ahead of him still.
Okay.
So, but he's showing some growth anyway. But you guys kind of a placeholder spot for him.
Gotcha. Randy, follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. At RR39. He'll also singly, including that teaser we had that won this past weekend on Football Sunday. That'll be at the Queen this Sunday, downtown Baton Rouge, 10 a.m. to noon. Randy, thank you, brother. Great stuff as always. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
All right, don't forget our friends at Workbox and Workbox Services, my buddy Martin Padial and his great staff over at Workbox. And, you know, with their second location, bigger and better than ever. The second office allows us to service all of the Gulf Coast and through New Orleans to Baton Rouge, all the way to Lake Charles. And our great team has expanded, along with Martin Sr., Martin Jr., Hannah, Brandy, my buddy Chris Brooks over there as well. Shipping containers, custom storage containers, all different sizes, from 8x8 to 8x40. You can customize them to any way. We customize them for you anyway. Lunchrooms, work sites, safety storage. Those are very handy when you got to go to do some stuff near the plant. Part office, part storage, lighting, shelving, exactly what you want or you desire. Again, our friends over at Workbox and Workbox Services, 343-4886 and WorkboxLLC.com.
Live at Snow's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, 2 local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
You've heard me talk about Workbox Services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or WorkboxLLC.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now bowling crabs at Sammy's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Quarterback updates. Jets have ruled out Justin Fields. It'll be Tyrod Taylor against the Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels threw on the side today, but he will not practice until Friday at the earliest. His status up in the air with that sore knee against the Raiders on Sunday. And Brian Kelly on the teleconference. We'll talk with Rab about this when we come back from the top of the hour. Says Garrett Nussmeier needs to play, and they are very comfortable where his progress is and some things that they can do now that he couldn't do a month ago in practice. So he is on what he says the other side of this. Take a break. Be back on the top of the hour. Scott Rabal with us here live at Snow's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Recall alert? Due for an oil change? Brakes louder than the kids in the back? Bayou Ford can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same-day service. Schedule now at BayouFord.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes and our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-1681. This is Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabal from The Advocate.
And we return here at Snow's Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway at 74 in Gonzales. Rab, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are y'all today?
Fantastic.
Doing good.
Man, fantastic. All right. We said what Brian Kelly said at 10 o'clock this morning on the SEC teleconference. You were on the call. You heard it. He's pretty adamant that Garrett Nussmeier needs to play and is going to play in this game against Southeastern. What are your thoughts about Nussmeier moving forward with the injury?
Yeah, Kelly. First of all, I think we've run with Brian Kelly. He to put as positive a spin as possible on injuries while being, while talking about them at the same time, which I appreciate. So he says that Nuss is on the back end of this injury situation, meaning that he's on the on the mend and improving. But he still said Monday he's not going to be totally healed. He doesn't think until he's got time to rest during the open date week after the Ole Miss game. All that said, I agree. I think he needs to play. I think given if the offense had been motoring along in the fast lane instead of kind of puttering along in the school zone like they have been, then I would say he maybe he could sit this one out because the things are a pretty fine-tuned machine. But I think he needs to work. I think you need the reps. I think he needs to not play the whole game. I mean, I think it's very, as you said, Charlie, I think on your post-game show Saturday, it's important how many points they scored this week. Usually you don't think too much about it. I was in agreement with you as well. But this week it's important. It's important to get out to try to get to a big lead and get him out of the game at some point in the second half or halftime if they can. But, I think he needs to play and work on those mechanics, work on the timing, and trying to give this offense a shot of confidence as well, going into the Ole Miss game.
It's a wonderful thing, and everybody just automatically assume that they're going to be up 6 touchdowns on Southeastern in the first half. It was 23-21 with Nichols last year in the third quarter. I mean, I don't think you can just say, well, you know what, get him out in the second quarter or even the third quarter. If the game dictates that, sure.
I'll take the under on 21 points in the third quarter Saturday with this defense.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to score 21 points on LSU either, but I don't know how many points LSU is going to score. I would like to see them, gain some offensive continuity with this group against what is an outmanned opponent. Scott, you've watched him play. Do you think, or not do you think, is he limited? We know he's got something in there. How limited do you think this makes the LSU offense?
I think they have been limited. I think I turned to Wilson one point Saturday night during the game. Why is their offense so horizontal? There's just so many passes in the flats and short passes, and sometimes the receivers, be they receivers or tight ends or running back, not getting past the marker, and it's been kind of frustrating to watch. And I think we kind of know why now. I think he has been compromised. That touchdown pass he threw Saturday night seemed to kind of flutter a little bit. Didn't have that usual Nussmeier zip on it. I think he's been affected. And all this, as I wrote in my column yesterday, all kind of comes back together. Going back to preseason camp, and you're like, why is he not throwing the ball in this scrimmage a week before the Clemson game? That seems kind of odd. He's out there handing off and in pads, but why is he not doing more? So it's, I think he's been affected. If he can get healthy, I don't know about you guys. I've had let's say them to the abdominal muscle puller. We don't know exactly what it is. Kelly's not saying. I've had one of those, and I'm not a high class athlete. Just trying to move around and just go through your normal day is difficult. I mean, you feel it with everything you do. So, I can see why this has been something that has affected him. And obviously, you're running a bit of risk if you play him against Southeastern that he could get injured further. I mean, we saw what happened Saturday with Lawrence Sellers, the guy who's coming free for Vanderbilt and knocking him out of the game. So that's always a risk, but I think it's a risk worth taking.
Scott, I'll go back to compare how he's throwing it now to when there were some reports that you gave us in practice that, man, this is an impressive thing to watch. Him zipping the ball around to these talented and deep group of receivers. You remember, giving us that report?
Yeah. No, I remember. I remember remarking to Koki Riley when we were leaving the practice one day. I said, "You want to know what it was like watching Joe Burrow in practice in 2019? This is what it looked like. He was laying the ball in, just beautiful passes over defensive backs, just right on the money, and zipping the ball around. And then obviously the last couple of times, two of the last times we saw him in practice, it changed. So somewhere in the middle of camp, but to start with, he looked tremendous, and his accuracy was great. The touch was great. The zip on the ball was great, and it changed at some point. So he can get back to that, but he hasn't. Now it all makes sense. He hasn't. Why hasn't the offense looked to use go to Chris Hill or go deep more? Charles, I watched your very entertaining and informative film breakdown last night with Richard Dixon.
Thank you.
And the long pass here to Bauer Sharp instead of going down the sideline to Barry and Brown. Obviously, it was as Richard said, it was an easier pass to make, but like you said, it would be a lot farther to throw. Making that throw to Brown, and maybe he wouldn't have been caught as Sharp would have been. But I think it's still a little difficult for him to make those throws, and you hope for his sake and LSU's sake, they get through this game, he's healthy, and you can go to Ole Miss and win, and then get healthier, leading into the rest of this very trying schedule that they have ahead.
The throw would have been similar to the one that he was asked to make against Louisiana Tech and left short. So, and again, they make 65 yards on the play, so I'm not complaining at all about it. It would have been a tougher throw outside the numbers where he would have needed to throw it for Brown to go get it. Okay, after the game, Brian Kelly was a little hot under the collar. He came back and
it's Cobble's crap.
Yeah. The noted troublemaker. He came back and walked all that back on Monday. Rab, you've been in more of these press conferences than you can count. The Mondays, after the games, and all that stuff. You think he's in that frame of mind because he knows he's got a team that can make a run, and look, it's not going to always be smooth. There are going to be some obstacles and things like that, but he was maybe more than a little bit bothered the other, and I don't think it had anything to do with Cobble. I said that on a post-game show.
Yes, it did.
Whoever opened their mouth first about the offense was going to get it, so it just happened to be Mike. But is it because he thinks, look, man, I got a real shot with this team, and man, if anything goes wrong, it's going to really suck. If it's my running game, my quarterback, whatever, because I got a real shot here.
Yeah, I think he said from the beginning, I think it's a really good team, and they're talented, and they certainly showed it on the defensive side. Is he speaking to? I guess is he speaking to the team through the media, trying to take up for them? Is that kind of what you're asking me?
Yeah, exactly.
With that, and also, this is his best shot.
He's
to this
nervous,
point,
yeah.
it might be the best shot in the near future for a year or two or whatever. That he's got the roster to make a run.
Yeah. I mean, you get the confidence, the self-confidence is part of this, and he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. Coaches look for a reason to say something, kind of like Dabo Swinney did in his long dissertation. His press conference yesterday, right?
Applying for another job somewhere. He's applying for a job somewhere else. You don't want me. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. Coaches often do that, and it's just, for the players to think, coach is taking up for us. We just won this big SEC game. Yeah, he was going to hammer somebody probably no matter what. I thought the question was fair, by the way, and it certainly was.
Of course it was. Yeah,
and,
of course.
And more than fair. Could it have been? I think generally the consensus, talking to other reporters after the game, was he could have been asked later in the press conference, but he still might have gotten just as exercised about it. And I think he more than adequately apologized for his outburst. I
agree with that too.
More of this from Brian Kelly. I thought we'd see more when he came here. I thought, oh God, it's going to be Nick Saban light, because having covered him in bowl games and stuff like that. And I think he's generally been very fair, very accommodating, very patient with questions and stuff like that over the years. But in this case, it's like, hey, they won the game, and he was worried about this game. Clearly, the Florida game. He said early last week. He said we need the fans to come out and make Tiger Stadium the home field advantage that it truly is, and all this sort of thing. And it did. It was a great atmosphere Saturday night. But he was clearly concerned about it, and to come off the field and get hit with this question immediately, it's like push button A. Here we go. I've got one. I've got it dialed up for somebody. Somebody's going to get it, and I think a lot of his motivations were well served in that moment.
So you may have seen a little piece of Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, with that public, press conferencing. You also saw a little page of Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, with his quarterback on that poor decision, because he knows he has his limitations physically, but damn it, he's got too many reps to make that decision. With his build.
Yeah, that didn't have anything to do with the arm, torso.
That's why he acted like that. Did you see him do that when he left the ball short in Louisiana Tech? No, it's a physical error, and he has his limitations. But no, man, you got to. I don't care what percentage your arm is, your torso, and this and that. That's all between the ears, and he's got to make better decisions than that for this to help this offense kind of move along.
Yeah. All right, Scott.
100%.
Any expect? I mean, these games, like the one they're playing this weekend, are exasperating to cover because there's not. I'm sorry, there's just not real competitive aspect to them most of the time, for very long. But anything you're looking for Saturday?
Just for them to put 40, 50 points on them, see if they can do it. If they can't. The defense, like Jimmy said, it's not going to give up many points. I think La Tech's going to get. If they get to 10, it would be quite a victory. La Tech, SRU. If they get to 10, it would be quite a victory for them. So it's the defense. That's another problem. If the final score is 31-10, that's a bit of a red flag. You can't expect this defense to keep doing this every week. At Ole Miss, I don't think they have a super great team this year, but they certainly seem to have a good enough offense where they could. If you can't generate, you can only generate 31 points on Southeastern. You might have to generate 31 points at Ole Miss to win the game, even if the defense is playing reasonably well, and that's a problem. So I want to see. It's a lot to ask in a game like this. They got to be motivated. They got to come out, try to put a lot of distance between themselves and Southeastern early on in the game, score a lot of points, and then try to get guys off the field. So there's a lot to ask, but it's much more interesting, I will say, than the average rental win for LSU. This is where it falls on the schedule and the state of the offense.
Brad, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
And look, if a veteran beat writer can tell the difference between a rental win, Southeastern, Louisiana Tech, Villanova, Nevada. No, Coach Kelly, the fans aren't going to bring it like they usually do, and I'm just fine with that.
It's going to be a little bit different than it was for Florida. Rab, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
We're brought to you by the Thibodaux Store and the Pierre Park Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux and Highway 70 in Pierre Park. Man, it's still time to get some supplies for the weekend. If you go on the website at thethibodauxstore.com, same-day pickup is available for a lot of these items. Also, delivery is available for a lot of these items. So your outdoor kitchens and your tailgating supplies are in full supply at the Thibodaux Store and the Pierre Park Store.
Man, you go to the website, too, and you got at all the different areas. I mean, automotive, building materials, doors, windows, but we love that the outdoor cooking. So, I mean, that is where it's at. Look, it's going to be Jimmy Hot tailgating weather around the corner too in October. So this is a time to where you stock up on all of your material, all of your gear for cooking for your tailgate. Outdoor cooking, period. Whether it's your outdoor kitchen at home or on site when you're doing Jambalaya Festival, whatever it is. So they've got everything you could imagine and then considerably more. It just makes it fun, man. If you love outdoor cooking like I do, you will be. It's a kid in a candy store. It's like Christmas morning going to the Thibodeau store and the Pierre Part store to get all their stuff. Independently run operations, been around forever. It's just it's kind of a cool thing, man. Going back in town, having that kind of that locally owned feel where they really are knowledgeable. Their staff is knowledgeable that everything they have. And if they don't have it, they'll find it and order it for you and ship it to your house like they did for some items for me.
Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, Highway 70 in Pierre Part for the Pierre Part Store, TheThibodeauStore.com. Live at lunch from Snow's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention vehicle owners, before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. 1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And and treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Wes, how you doing, buddy? Wes?
Jimmy, I'm well. How are you, partner?
Doing good. You getting ready? NBC prime time, baby. Couple of 3-0 teams, huh? Two teams that had really good seasons last year. Of course, Indiana with the playoff appearance, and Illinois with a 10-win season, including a bowl win over an SEC team. So 4.5. Are you going to Bloomington for the game?
I will not be. I'm going to be making the trip to Austin when the Hoosiers play Oregon, and hopefully still undefeated by that time. But I will be watching Saturday night with my eyes glued to NBC for the Illini and the Hoosiers. And, yeah, looking forward to it. Little private parts there for you.
I got it right away.
But,
WNBC. Yeah, I got it.
Well done. What you feel, Wes? Because sometimes we're too close to the sun. Sometimes, I mean, the team that we have an emotional event. It's hard to look objectively again with about a team that's our team that we have an emotional investment in.
Yeah, it really is because when I looked at this week, I thought, okay, the market sentiment and I think just the overall sentiment from the media or the public or whatever group you want to attribute it to was going to be that Illinois is the side. Because they're number 9 in the country. They got all the hype in the summer. They're this year's Indiana is what people are saying. And Indiana 3-0 against fairly nondescript competition, shall we say. And this is a prove-it game, I think, for both teams. It's a prove-it for Illinois to live up to a hype, and it's a prove-it for Indiana, too, because maybe being a little bit disrespected because there are still some pollsters not ranking this team, and including my buddy Brett McMurphy, where I almost had to not accept his Facebook friend request, man. Why? You're not ranking the Hoosiers here? Like, come on, give us a little bit of respect. But, the line being 4.5 is certainly curious because I think that tells you that maybe the market, who was so high on Illinois over the summer, maybe likes Indiana this week. And I think Indiana wins the game. I'm not rushing to lay it, though, right now because I think that the number's going to drop as we get closer to the weekend, as you get more money involved. I don't think you'll be laying 4.5 or 5. So probably the best play is the under at this standpoint.
Well, at our local outlet, the DraftKings outlet, and DraftKings outlets all around, it's 5.5 now. Indiana is minus 5.5, minus 105, despite roughly 2/3 of the spread tickets on the Fighting Illini. So a little bit of pros versus Joes, maybe. Said you had the pros versus Joes last week at LSU in Florida. You had Florida along with some others. And, well, how did it feel not to cover that one when you out first down on 23-10? Lagway throws 5 interceptions.
And really didn't do it against, I think, you had the one against pressure, but a lot of them were just bad throws for this guy and this Florida program. And they're, you really, I think, as much as I'm down on them, and I think the market is down on them, if you like the Gators, wait, because I think Miami's got the momentum right now, and they easily covered, by the way, against South Florida. Laid that 17 plus, no problem. And now you're seeing 7.5 here. That number's going up. So if you like the Gators, I think you wait.
Who else are you on this week in college football, Wes?
Yeah, Miami of Ohio plus 2.5. I got a little bit better of the number, but we'll still take it at 2.5. They're getting the Rebels coming in 3-0 off a bye week, early start, early kickoff, 12 Eastern in Oxford, 9 out here in Vegas, and Miami of Ohio started strong. They new quarterback Daquan Finn, the former Toledo quarterback, is now with the Red Hawks and haven't looked good against the two Big Ten opponents. Got shut out at Wisconsin, got beat handily at Rutgers, but dropping class, I think, here. And UNLV, maybe they're feeling themselves off beating UCLA. And I know this is not the vintage UCLA with Foster getting fired over the weekend and how they got pounded at home by New Mexico, but that's still a brain team. And you still probably got a lot of kids on that team that wanted to play in a program like UCLA, especially a lot of the California kids. So I'm high to me in what might be a low-scoring game. I think is right here at plus 2.5. So I did take the Red Hawks in that spot. A couple others. This has dropped below 7, but I like East Carolina a little bit over BYU. BYU off the 5, but Bear Bachmeier, I think he's going to get tested a little bit more on the road. And even against Stanford, where they won pretty easily a couple weeks ago, he kind of struggled against the pressure, got sacked 3 times. And I think you've got a better defense here with East Carolina. They just did shut out Coastal 38-0. So ECU getting BYU at home. I think they're going to be ready in Greenville on Saturday night. So we go with East Carolina in the points there. And then a couple other quick ones in college football. This is an ugly dog, and I know there's revenge involved, but Georgia State plus 27.5 at Vanderbilt. And you may end up even getting a 28 by the weekend. Vanderbilt, they easily beat South Carolina. Now Sellers got knocked out of the game, and it was Doty, but Vanderbilt pulled away. So off 2 road wins where they were underdogs, now you come home and lay a big old number to Georgia State. I know they got upset by them last year, but I still think that number is a little bit big. So I'm going to hold my nose with Georgia State, even though they didn't get there against Ole Miss a few weeks ago.
Georgia State beat them last year in a wild one, boy. It's just an incredible throw and catch by Georgia State. That was in downtown Atlanta against Vanderbilt. And as I'm peeking up right now, we got Vanderbilt with who do they have on deck, because that was a big win for them. Well, they got Utah State before they go to Bryant-Denny Stadium at Nick Saban Field.
Can I ask both of you guys a question about Missouri and South Carolina? Because this line was 13.5. We assumed that with that line, Lenore Sellers would be in a concussion protocol. Shane Beamer said yesterday he's got to practice either Tuesday or Wednesday to get through the concussion protocol. This line is down to 10 now. He's being a little bit coy. They got to release an injury report tonight, and then every day until the game on Saturday. This line dropping 3.5 points. Apparently somebody thinks he's playing. Wes?
Yeah. Pete Thamel, I believe, from ESPN put out a report that there was optimism that Sellers was going to be available, because on the surface, that number is too high. Even if I was a little bit lower on South Carolina going into the season, they were borderline top 10 team to start the year, and they take that one loss at home. And I know the quarterback makes all the difference, but that number, I even thought it got a little too high without him. I have some. I was not able to get the 13 or the 13.5, but that was just taking a number and seeing if it was going to go. So that's going to be a buyout situation probably if he doesn't, but. Yeah, that's what happened today. Pete Thamel put the report out that there's optimism Sellers is going to go.
We got to filter through the Dabu juice over in Clemson, South Carolina. But Dabu was always sensitive to, but he could rip off all of their credentials and their accomplishments off the top of his head. So did a little defensive, to say the least. But you know what? It was a preseason ranking that got the guy you succeeded fired. When Tommy Bowden's Clemson Tigers were preseason number 6 and got throttled by Alabama, who knew that Alabama was on their way to what they were. That was Nick Saban's second year in 2008. But anyway, Wes, for argument's sake, we're trying to evaluate how good of a game that was. It's no crime to lose to a good team in Georgia Tech at the gun on a 55-yard field goal. But where do you think Clemson will finish the season ranked? top 10, top 15, top 20, top 25, ACC champ, no ACC championship game, no playoff. Where are they going to finish this year?
I think they're probably going to finish second or third in the conference. Right now, I don't know how you go against Miami. They do look like the best team in the ACC right now, but, they've got a coach that's low. And you've seen that with Mario Cristobal. If he lets his coordinators coordinate, I think the U's going to be fine, but maybe saying that they're the best team in the country, a little bit of a reach, but I think that they're very good. But Clemson, I could see top 15 and top 20. And by the way, I do like Clemson laying 17 over Syracuse. I think that this is a back against the wall spot after two kind of really poor performances. And I think they lay out the orange this weekend. So I still think Clemson's an absolute contender, even though they're not the favorite right now.
I'm on Clemson this week as well in that spot. So, they're looking to take out a little frustration. Miami does have Florida this week. Well, against Florida State, where they go to Doak Campbell, I would put Florida State. We see if a look right at a pick 'em. Maybe Florida State 1 or 2 at home, but sandwiched in buys. So they got Florida this week, talking about Miami, bye next week, at Florida State, bye after that. So look ahead spot, that Florida State team they're pretty good this year as well. Charlie, who do you like in that game looking ahead?
Right now, I'd have to take Miami.
Okay.
I think that they look the part, and I definitely agree with Wes. Let's try not to have the head coach get in the way. He's gotten in the way of some wins in the past. Let's try to not have that happen. I hate to put all of my confidence in Carson Beck, but, man, when he looks good, he looks really good. He's like one of those race cars, as long as he's running and everything's on, he looks great. When things break down for him.
Florida State does not have any buys on either side. They go to Charlottesville next week to take on Virginia. Then they host Miami and then host Pitt the following week. So Carson Beck, what's their best road win right now? None. So we'll see. It's going to be a little bit different. Old school. Both teams are pretty good this year. We're talking about Florida State and Miami. Wes, your best pro pick, and give us a breakdown of it this week.
Okay, let's go really ugly here for a team that's already burned me going against them the first 2 weeks.
Tennessee.
We're starting to see some 7 now. Let's go with the New York Jets against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have broken my heart for the first 2 weeks. It is going to be Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields is going to miss. I think Tampa could easily be 0-2. And look, they had Baker Mayfield sacked on 4th down and 10, couldn't get him. Tampa Bay goes ahead and scores and wins the game against Houston. So New York Jets for me, and then a bonus underdog. How about the Denver Broncos, especially if you can get the 3? I know it's 2.5 at DraftKings, but I think the 3 might be coming. Chargers 2 road wins, going home where they don't have a really big home field advantage. I like the Denver Broncos here because now the Chargers are dealing with the expectations that they're the team to beat in the AFC West. And how long has it been? Over a decade since they've had those?
Yeah, there's no doubt. So a lot of love with the Chargers and, those standalone games, the recency bias. So everybody's going to be on the Chargers this week, especially under a field goal right now. And wait a minute. You're always on a raw end of these, huh? Little gift, little Christmas early in Indianapolis Sunday, huh?
Boy, poor our mascot Blue was going through it, man. Missed the field goal and he collapses and faints, and then all of a sudden they get a reprieve on that leverage, and then all of a sudden the belly was bumping for Blue as the Colts get the win. But look, Indiana Jones, man, maybe this thing is real. I think that this is a little bit of a tough spot at Tennessee, though, this week.
Is Les Miles the mascot of the Colts, huh? Is he anyway, he's dressing in that outfit.
It's been a rough early season for mascots. Who got his head ripped off? Was it one of the college mascots got his head ripped off? I forgot who that was.
And one final one on the way out, Wes. I mean, he's trying to get more yardage, but kind of playing for that long field goal for Steichen there.
Oh, God, yeah, that was bad play calling, and maybe that's what Carly Gordon was looking at when they had that video of her looking at the sheet going, what's that? You know, the new owner of the Indianapolis Colts who's trying to learn football operations and has the headset on. Maybe she even thought that was bad, but was very happy with the result. But, yeah, that Shane Steichen play calling, it's a lot to be desired, I think, late.
Follow Wes on X/Twitter at Wes Reynolds 1. Always bringing it to us. Wes, good luck to you this weekend. We'll be watching that Indiana-Illinois game with a lot of interest as well. Going to be a good one on, how do you say it, Wes? On what channel? What network?
On, if you're in New York, on Channel 4, it is
WNBC.
Thank you, Wes. We appreciate it. Yes, indeed, over here. Don't forget our friends at
boys, thank you.
Downtown Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, bringing you our football consensus picks on Friday. That's right. On Friday, we wrap up all the picks and run through them over the entire course of the week. You know, I got into my car. Girl pulled in front of me. I mean, I had to veer off the road. Either I smack her and who knows what happens, or try and go in the ditch and take on the light poles. And I took on the ditch and the light poles. Airbags deploy. Car is totaled. Here we go. Man, woke up. I tell you, man, just piercing headaches. I got to see a doctor. I got to see specialists. I got to deal with the insurance companies. Dana got me in to see the doctor, got me in to see a specialist, and started dealing with the. So it is a pain in the backside. There's no doubt. But he's going to make it as pain-free as possible, absorb some of that blow. And anything in life, when you're used to dealing with these situations more, you specialize in it. It's going to be easier. It's going to be more efficient when you're dealing with. You're going to produce better results. So insurance companies are not in the business of just handing you over money. So it takes Dana and his team of specialists to get exactly what's entitled to you, but also, you know, getting you in to see the doctors and handling everything for you. So if you get in an accident, do like I did. Call my friends at the law offices of O.C. Brown, Dana Brown, 343-1111, or schedule an initial consultation on the website. Easy peasy. As soon as you pull up ocbrown.com, you'll see a click, a big box. Just get that. Dana Brown, this is O.C. Brown, your law firm. Live
it's live ESPN Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the personal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location, or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
This is Buzzy Heidel for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance. At Town Square Pizza We take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try specialty pizza, Spanish Town Supreme, or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors. You know, when you're planning your retirement, man, the situations are always different. So find somebody who's going to be able to talk to you, see where your situation is in life, and what your age or your financial situation. You're going to make a plan that's going to maximize your retirement savings, your peace of mind, and build that lifetime relationship with you. It's not order taking. They're going to work with your business partners. They're going to work with your legal team, tax professionals, to make sure all your retirement goals are achieved. Full service financial planners at Coastal Capital, and I can tell you for sure because they've done a good job for me over the years. Contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at coastalcapital.com or 337-981-1376. Services provided by New Age Advisors, member of FINRA SIPC.
EJ was listening online and he was saying, well, Dad, who doing the show with? His hand is retiring. I mean, you know, he's talking about this, you know, retiring Coastal Capital all the time. I mean, you know, what's the target date for this retirement, Charlie? Damn, boy.
I could see. Here's the thing: they're going to allow me to retire when I want to, not when I.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
You don't have to put it off, man. You know, you. Put it this way, he'll put me in a financial situation where they had enough of you. I'll be able to.
Options are good, huh?
Yeah, they sure are.
Yes,
do you think of the same thing that I do when you hear Tyrod Taylor starting for the Jets this week?
Okay, you would.
Two things. Number one, the first game he ever played, which we saw him at Virginia Tech, here in Tiger Stadium. One of the biggest wins ever.
He came in relief
of Sean Lennon and kept the job for 4 years.
Oh, he started the next game after?
It was either the next game or 2 games later, but he started most of the season. And
okay, he did in 2007. Okay,
2007, and he kept that job. He had a fantastic career at Virginia Tech.
He won the league that year.
Yeah, and it was the very next one. He was the starter the rest of that season. Came in the next game.
He started. Doesn't have starts. He played 11 games. So
yeah, I'm looking at it.
But he only threw 134 passes, Charlie.
They ran a lot.
I know, but
they had.
He's throwing 10. You know,
who was the great running back for them that year? One of the highest recruits they ever had. Jones. What was his name? I remember doing that pregame. He was the highest rated recruit that they had ever had. and I think his name was Jones. His last name was Jones. I'm trying to remember.
Glennon threw 235 passes that year. Taylor only 134.
Well,
They probably rotated. Glennon threw for 1,800 yards. Taylor 927. Glennon 12 touchdowns to 5.
All right. It says after the game. Oh, I see. He got hurt. He got hurt against Duke that year. Came back, and after he came back, Glennon took over as a starter. So I knew he had started the next game, and then he got hurt, and then Glennon came back in to start.
Their leading rusher that year was Brandon Orr.
Okay, maybe I got all of this wrong. I just seem to remember that they had.
Yeah, he had 267 rushing attempts for 992, and the next closest had 429. Tyrod Taylor had 429.
Maybe I'm thinking about.
So
that.
now keep in mind Taylor, he was in there. Now Glennon rushed it 66 times, but Taylor 102 of that year. So they probably.
He played a lot, and he started for a number of those games. Anyway, he had a great career at Virginia Tech. But did you ever think that he would stay 15 years in the NFL?
No.
This is year 15 in the NFL.
No.
And he was a full-time starter for 3 years with Buffalo.
He's off the top of my head, he's in the top 10 as far as backups. How many games did he start for Cleveland or Buffalo? Probably about 60.
Very good. 58. This will be start 59. He was a full-time starter for 3 years in Buffalo. He started. He was only for 1 year, but he started the 3 games that he was there.
I think they did play one playoff game at Jacksonville, so maybe 49 starts with Buffalo, or did he miss any time?
He missed a couple of games.
Okay.
He started 14 games 1 year, 15 games 1 year. So he missed.
You remember the game they went to? It was like a 7 playoff game. That was the year Jacksonville went to New England, had a beat. It looked terrible in that game. Did not cover in that game.
Was that one on Saturday?
No, it was a Sunday game.
It was a Sunday game.
It was a Sunday.
Okay.
It was a Sunday early game. Yeah, it was a Sunday game.
Baltimore, Buffalo, Cleveland, Chargers, the Texans, the Giants, and the Jets.
The Saints played.
That's who he's played for in 15 years.
Yeah.
Some
yeah.
guy.
So he's, and I thought he was an upgrade last year, and Fields is still. He accounted for a lot of yards, a big, and they certainly moved the ball against Pittsburgh this season. But when the game's on the line, they're running quarterback draws.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to throw, so he's going to allow them to run their offense a little bit more. I like the pick. I'll take the pick because you might be getting a point or two because it's just a backup playing. When, in fact, that it is not a drop-off, and it might even be an upgrade.
At 36 years old, he's still a very viable player in the league. Very viable.
Yeah. There's no don't forget.
Fell for him that night at Tiger Stadium because he was a firm against that defense, man.
And that was 70. That was still worse. He was healthy.
Yeah, it was game 2.
Yeah, that was only game 2.
Yeah.
The only time they pulled it on the quarterback, the parallel quarterback keeper.
Early Doucette was a little open.
And they never went back to it.
I know.
My man Lee Carney over at Go Chevrolet in LaPlace. They also have Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine, the Go Automotive team. When I was in the market for a new vehicle, I called my buddy Lee, a hoopster, a big Bel Air hoop star, and played some college, coached some college, and just really, really loved talking basketball with Lee. But also I gave him a call, and, man, we got on the website and kind of self-order, custom ordered through the Chevrolet website, through Go Chevrolet, exactly what I wanted. So the Tahoe that I drive around is a Go Chevrolet Tahoe. So you're in the market for a new vehicle, come on by. Ask for mention my name, get special VIP pricing. Go Chevrolet, just a short drive down to LaPlace. And Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine.
Live at Snow's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks in every game like hotel stays.
Hang on.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Thursday. We are at 19th. Sammy's in Prairieville on Old Perkins Road near Airline.
Colucci Humans. Oh, Mrs. Bunny?
That's it.
Okay. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. It's rolling.
This is Charles Handiger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Sammy's in Prairieville. Dwayne Colucci and Matt Humans join us from Las Vegas, and we're getting you ready for the college and pro football weekend. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday from Sammy's in Prairieville on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Buzzy Heidel for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now boiling crabs at Sammy's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday starting at 5 p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
On this day in 1967, the first ever game for the New Orleans Saints. You know what struck me about that? Back then, they didn't start the regular season until September 17th.
Yeah, yeah.
Back when you had 6 preseason games for a 14-game schedule.
14 back then?
Yeah.
At 12, 14? What year did they go to 14?
They went to 16 in 1970.
No, before they were 12.
Way before my time. I don't know. I know they went to 16 in the mid-70s. I want to say 74, 75. September 17th, 1967, John Gilliam returned the opening kickoff, 94 yards for a touchdown. Yeah. God bless John Gilliam, 80 years old now. But anyway, that just struck me. Could you imagine now if we had to wait until the 3rd week in September to start football.
I know.
It drives us
Well, they
crazy.
go get rid of the week 0 thing and let them start playing. Give us a little bit more on there. I think that's
there's
happening.
so few restrictions. It is very easy. If you want to play a week 0 game now, you can do it.
1961 was the first year they went from 12 to 14 in the NFL. Did you hear the Arkansas athletic director talking about how, just they can compete in baseball, they compete in this, compete in that. Right now, we can't compete for national championships in football. And he says, so he's talking about people, geez, the sport is built on cheating and getting an edge, and he says, so we'll be more competitive in the SEC with collective bargaining, but we still, if everybody's they're driving 55, but it's not patrolled, and everybody's going 65, and I don't know if we want to get, that's not the integrity, that there's not a whole lot of integrity in going, basically saying everybody's cheating, just like, with, who said it was, everybody's, I don't know how they're going to meet all these, all the money that they're offering, kids and stay under the collective and all that. And he says, because right now, until we get our enforcement body, basically saying the NCAA is done.
You can always tell when an athletic director doesn't have enough money. He starts, hey, somebody else is getting the jump on me. Because college, before NIL and all that stuff, college football was squeaky clean. Nobody ever cheated.
It's built on cheating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Snow, Seafood, and Steak. Come on out and see us here.
Airline Highway at Highway 74, man. Been here for over 50 years. They do a great job. Great job.
Tomorrow we're at Sammy. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital.